gas in my car. I went back to the tattoo shop and I was like, can I still get that apprenticeship? And they were like, yep, $3,000.
Fucking hell.
So I had no money. I had literally enough money from the ice cream shop. Like some of the savings that I had to go to Canada went to like, it was like $1,000. And then I borrowed two more grand from my uncle. Yeah. I gave it all to the tattoo shop. And then I just kept gassing my car by making ice cream cakes on Sundays. And then, like, I didn't have a job. I have nothing. I was smoking cigarettes then too. I was like broke as fuck.
That's expensive. Yeah.
So I was at that tattoo shop every fucking day because I was like, I do not want to work at ice cream shop. I don't want a fucking cubicle job.
I do not want to work at ice cream shop.
I was determined to make sure that this was going to work out.
Well, you had nothing else either, right?
No, dude, I had nothing to lose. I was like,
I'm all in.
I put everything on black. I was like,
yes,
tattoos. We are tattooing.
I guess we're a tattoo artist now.
So I fucking made it work.
You did.
Like sheer force of will.
Yes.
I didn't have any options though. I must have handed out like 200 different resumes to like a bunch of places. Nobody was hiring.
Yeah.
Tattoos? Shit is recession proof. I'm telling you. Full circle, bitch. We like people will like be like, I have a family to feed, but I need this tattoo. You know why? Because tattoos are therapy and people need therapy. I don't know where to start, man.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a whole fucking day.
It's
been 3 weeks and I'm very sorry that we haven't been around here.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, that aren't listening, this is the Inkaholics podcast based in Warren, Rhode Island. We are a tattoo shop. We're a couple of tattoo artists that own our own shop. We've been doing this shit fucking like 10,
13 years.
Goddamn years, bro. It's been too long.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it, bro. It's time to retire. It's time to I'm done, son.
Oh, really?
We're taking this shit to the next level. Fucking Andromeda, son. We're going to go up there. We're going to be tattooing in space, bitch.
You're so wild.
We're going on the shuttle.
Shuttle, you're going to take the shuttle?
We're going to go up there and we're going to be like, we're going to change. We changed the laws in Warren. We're going to change the laws up in space.
Wow.
It's going crazy. We're going to be up there going, but we're going to use coil machines. You know what I mean?
I like that you said you didn't know where you were going with this, and that's where you chose to start.
You gotta
space.
You can't be thinking small. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You gotta think big.
Yeah,
dude.
Space.
It's been 3 too long weeks.
3 too long weeks.
3
TOO.
200.
Yeah, you got it.
TOO weeks. People are pissed.
I know.
Bitches were coming in. They're like,
bitches.
When are you guys gonna do Did you quit again? I said almost.
Almost.
I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I got some shit going on in my personal life. It's not fun. I just, you know what? And everybody's got a personal life, and that's like a terrible excuse. You gotta like just shove that shit down and get toxic with yourself. You know what I mean? You just gotta like just keep hustling.
Yeah.
And you just push all that down.
So you think that the self-loathing drives you up the hill? Up this difficult hill, this difficult point of life.
This bus is fueled on fucking toxic waste.
And screams. Hate and screams and tears.
But you just bottle it up.
Yeah, and then the compression over time is going to fuel you up and out like a cork.
And then you're a millionaire by the end of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that tracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alone.
Well, we kind of cracked it. We cracked the Millionaire. So if anyone's looking to get into that, bottle up all the rage and hate. Wait until it compresses and then fuel yourself upwards up the hill of life and onwards, and probably make some well-timed investments, I would say.
Well-timed.
Well-timed. Good luck.
There's
good luck out there.
I got to push you over too because you're way too far in the corner.
Physically push me over?
Put you over a little bit like
goodness.
that. You can face me a little bit more. You're not going to like...
Yeah, okay.
Does that feel uncomfortable?
No, I'm not uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable?
No.
Let's immediately get aggressive with a friend.
I'm sorry. Are you feeling...
Do you want to be uncomfortable?
Do you feel safe right now?
It'll make you feel safe in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
I'm sad.
I know. I'm just here. I had so much caffeine. My eyes are twitching. And I'm feeling very hot, so I'm going to take the hoodie off.
Oh shit.
We sell these hoodies in-house if anybody wants to match me. It's just a 1001 Troubles hoodie. Fantastic.
Cool. We got to come up with some like funny t-shirts that people actually want.
Yeah. Also, if
like people
anyone
like the
wants
logo,
shit,
that's cool,
yeah.
but like
I did have an idea.
what?
Do you know like almost like a Memento Mori style coin, like a dead penny on the eyes coin?
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to do something like that on the front with the 1001 coins on both of the eyes of the skull, and then have like script around, maybe some florals. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Something kind
Is
of.
that what we're selling? We're selling death now?
My mom, when I first started getting into tattoos, that was one of the first questions she asked me, and she was like, why do people, they always want to get skulls? And I mean, the idea behind Memento Mori is like, by remembering that we're all going to perish and we're all going to die, it fuels you to live a full life, right?
You better hurry up because shit's ticking, man.
Shit's ticking.
It's really not
certainly.
a healthy way to live, though, right? Because you're like,
That's
oh,
how
I'm gonna
I
die
live.
soon. I gotta fucking hurry up.
I do live like that. I don't know. It's like, it waxes and wanes, the stress of it.
I think the idea is to be mindful, right? It's all mindfulness, like
Yeah.
in a toxic shroud of anxiety and
I would call it, like a positive
be
nihilism.
mindful,
right?
but don't be negative.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like positive nihilism is acknowledging the terrible things that could happen, but spinning them in a positive way of like, oh, this is happening, all these bad things are happening. But that just makes me more grateful for my life and my ability to, pursue what I love, or, like the things that you have that are important to you, right? So, but it's hard to do that all the time, especially with such wild stuff occurring every single day.
yeah.
Yeah. It's easy for me to say too when I think this year has been a good year for me.
This
so.
shit is terrible. This is
know,
like
I'm sorry.
existentialism on
Yeah.
crack with ninjas
Yeah.
on top.
Oh,
It's like,
that's so cute.
It's real bad.
It's a cute way to talk about it.
It's that's cute. Yeah,
Cute way.
it's real cute.
With the image for me was like cartoony in my brain.
People are trying to figure out whether they can like eat next week and shit, you know?
Yeah. Or whether their children can in schools.
Oh man.
Right? Low-income schools.
You know, if you like anything from Amazon, not anymore.
No, I'm
You
gonna
like all that
cancel
plastic shit? You like chargers for $5?
No.
Nope, not anymore.
Yeah.
Nope. You're gonna have, dude,
Yeah.
shit's going down, son. It's hype right now out there. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing a lot of vague statements. How about we get into the nitty gritty a little bit?
I don't
here?
want to.
Okay, great. Prices
I
are
just
going
wanna-
up for plastic.
I just want to put out that it's bad, and that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
you just gotta hug the people you love.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, people over objects, right? I'm trying to cut down. I'm deleting. I'm canceling subscriptions, and I think I'm going to cancel Amazon as well.
Bitch, I'm deleting and canceling friends. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you do that to your friends?
Oh, because we don't always agree on shit. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh, you can't. There's no way that you can find a middle ground here.
There's no middle ground.
Okay.
No,
That's good to know.
it's all or nothing.
Am I getting deleted as the friend?
You're okay for now.
Okay, cool. We'll sort it out later.
It depends. Depends. Just see if-
Diapers.
yeah, I don't know. If I keep talking like this, people aren't gonna really know what the fuck I am or I stand for. You know, like you hear
Yeah.
like podcasters and people talking about like. I think I play devil's advocate too well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't
like
do
you
that.
can pretend to be a fuck,
Whoa.
and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because like, excuse me, one of the clients that listens also to the podcast was like cracking up about how like you have this very awkward fake hype man intro into every episode, and he was just like, it's so weird and like funny and strange, and I was like, yeah, no, I know. Where you're like pretending that you're like
A piece of
halfway
shit?
there. Like,
Yeah.
It's like you're kind of hype, but it's hard to tell. It's like, is he being serious? Is he
Cause
being
bitch,
awkward on purpose?
I gotta hype myself up. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
true.
That's how I get into this shit. I gotta be like, "Sup, bitch? This is the Inkaholics podcast. You can suck my dick if you don't like that shit. Also, we don't have any sponsors, so I have nothing to sell you, but that should make you feel
Hoodies. We do have
comfortable.
hoodies.
We have hoodies.
We have hoodies.
They're $40.
If I sell all the ones we have, then we can get new ones with cool stuff on them.
That'd be awesome, and I won't have to hype shit so much.
Listen, this is what I'm thinking, Fred.
What?
Listen to me, eyes right here. For the next hoodie, wouldn't it be fun to just make it like all flash, all the way printed, everywhere? Like
just a flash
sleeves. Yeah, sleeves, back, front, and we can do flash from every artist in here. We'll pick it, like 10 little baby pieces each, and you
we
just
can do
stamp
an
it
all over
up.
print,
Yeah,
like an all over print.
Yes, but like,
Okay.
like it's cute, like it looks like a flash sheet.
Let me explain this.
Okay.
What this?
Sorry, you made
Relax.
it seem like you were gonna.
That came out wrong.
You sound like
that
you're gonna mansplain how
Let me
printing all over
explain
works.
this to your little female brain. I know it has trouble, like
Fetus brain would have been funnier. But go on. Go ahead.
Fetus brain?
Funny, right?
I don't know. I
It's
guess,
like a baby's
yeah.
brain, not even formed. Literally depending on someone else to think. You like that joke?
That's not nice.
All right.
Is it a brain if it's not a person, though?
That's a funny joke. I'm here for that joke.
That's not okay. All right. So
I'm gonna drink some water.
Let me. All right. Here we go. So the tariffs are affecting actually our ability to print to order, because the company that we go through, they don't just have shit. I know you know this, but they just don't have stuff like already printed, and we don't have. What the fuck? I just. No, get out of here, bit. Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry, I just like faded to black.
Do you remember the one time we were doing the podcast and you moved your forearm? So be careful of this forearm, and then you hit cancel on the recording. So just be careful about that laptop.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, so when you order a T-shirt off the website from us, it goes to the printer, and they say, "Okay, we have a couple of T-shirts that we have to print," and then they print them there. So it's direct to garment. A lot of our materials are actually made in China.
Yeah.
I don't think all of them are, so I think it depends on where the supply is coming from. We have a lot of options, so we're going to have to figure out where the direct-to-garment for overall prints come from, and we're going to have to figure out, like, I want to keep them affordable, but obviously it's based on, like, market prices.
Yeah, because as they raise their prices, we'll have to raise ours in order to keep the same. I mean, yeah. I will say that I think that we keep our merchandise very affordable, because I think our T-shirts are still only $25.
Dude,
usually it's $40 for the.
Yeah. You know what I want to do? I want to do our own.
What do you want?
Let's do our own fucking like
T-shirt line.
No, let's
let's
actually do the screen printing ourselves. We'll make small batches.
Yeah.
And then people will think they're even cooler because they're handmade, and we're like, I made this shit, bitch.
So, okay. So if you're serious about doing this, I do have a lead on someone that purchased screen printing materials. It's Anthony's friend. He has been looking to sell it, I'm pretty sure, because he bought it to do T-shirts for the band. And then he was like, I'm not really using this anymore, and then I'm working full time. I don't have the time for it. So we can explore that avenue. I personally hate screen printing, but I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
Why do you hate it?
I hate it because it's so boring and like exact,
it is a lot of work.
And it's a lot of work, and to deal with like the screens and the chemicals and everything. I did take a course in college, but also the college course, they said, first thing they said was, anyone who's here to make T-shirts, that's not happening. And I was like, okay. Because I was going to make a cool
T-shirt.
Because he wanted us to see it as an art form.
Because he was like a fucking, I'm a print professor, and I took
it my senior year, so already I had like senior brain, and I was like, I just want to do cool shit. And like when you do screen printing, you have to wait for each layer of color to dry, and I was just like, this is so boring.
Oh my god, that annoys the shit out of me. I hate when professors are like that. Like, this isn't, T-shirts aren't art. It's it's got to be like on paper, and then it's got to be in a museum.
Yeah. I made some cool prints
Boring.
and I learned how to do it, but the process is frustrating. The process is frustrating if it's more than 2 layers, I think.
You have to just infuse your love into it and be this is for love.
It's difficult to infuse that love over and over again for every print.
Sounds dirty.
But if we did them made to order, like did like some sort of like limited print, then we have the whole basement. We should do it.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. We got a whole basement down there.
We'll do it.
Hook it up.
And then, I could do whatever I wanted on whatever material I wanted.
There you go. We can like, we can go to Savers and buy a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying?
We could do tie-dye shirts. Tie-dye shirts are fun.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Anyway, this is not a podcast about screen printing.
That sounds fucking awesome, though, dude.
We can do it.
New t-shirts, bitch.
We can do it.
What's up, sucker ducks? This is Fred Chino over here at the podcast.
Oh, we're doing it again. We're
doing
hyping
it again. Yeah, because I'm trying to intro us. This is the intro to the cool podcast.
Creative ways to get around more expensive things.
Yep. And
you grew up broke. I grew up broke. So we're really creative.
Bitch, I'm poor.
We kind of both grew up a little bit broke.
Yeah.
So I feel like we get creative.
I fucking love being broke.
I didn't mind
Makes you appreciate that shit.
It really does, though.
You know?
I grew up with my mom hanging curtains and blankets in rooms so that we could heat only certain parts of the house to afford it.
Yeah, man. My grandma still puts plastic over the windows.
Yeah. I did that. I did that until last year.
Yep.
And I mean, or not last year. It was you were there when the puppy tried to eat the plastic.
It was so cold some nights we would have to sleep with hand warmers in our jammies.
Aw. But you had jammies. Right? Am I right?
That's why I sleep naked all the time, because I don't want to go back to being poor.
Privileged. Privileged to sleep naked in these times. I went to, when we were in Madrid, the fucking hotel had the heat set to 72 degrees for the rooms. And I was just
that is too hot.
You are insane, sir. Also, the electricity alone. It was very warm. I woke up very warm and with nosebleeds.
Really?
Yeah. And then I remembered to turn, the thermostat down, but we fell asleep and then...
I like sleeping cold, too.
I like sleeping cold.
Yeah, and then I bundle up.
Bundled. Yep. Yeah, I like to be bundled. Mm-hmm. Can you see my eye twitching?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Why are you doing that?
I'm not doing it on purpose. But yeah, so the tariffs are coming. They're going to get you. We're going to do our best. We're going to keep it cool.
Oh, man. We're so fucked, dude. Our prices already doubled.
We're going to be fine.
I just bought needles. They're so expensive.
Well, we're just going to figure it out.
We'll be fine. We'll be all right. Fine. We're not raising prices on anybody.
No.
Yet.
Not yet.
It depends. It depends on how bad it gets. You know what I mean? Tattoos are a luxury. You guys don't need this shit. This is not pay your rent, please, dudes.
That is true. Pay your rent first.
I know they say that tattooing is
addictive.
No, tattooing is a recession-proof job. You
can say that about anything.
Okay, yeah, but for some reason, people love this shit. They love tattoos. It doesn't matter if they're poor or rich or they don't got money to pay.
We're about to find out.
If they can't pay the rent, they need food. They got food. If you could pay for tattoos and food stamps, those bitches would. I'm telling you, man, people love this shit. When I got into tattooing, it was like the housing recession. It was like 2009. It was like 2010. Can you say 2009? It's more like 2009, right?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. Anyway, it was like 2009.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I couldn't get a job to save my life. That's when
you started tattooing?
Dude, I was fresh out of... No, it's when I
didn't think
I started to apprentice. No, it was around the time I started to apprentice or was thinking about it.
Sounds right.
I was in college. I was a super senior. So
in 2009?
Yeah, I was supposed to graduate actually in 2009. I actually technically graduated in 2010.
No.
Yeah.
You went to college with me before I graduated.
When did you graduate?
2012.
Yeah, but I was supposed to graduate 2009. I took extra 2 classes in 2010.
Oh,
That's when I met you in 2010. Because we had painting together.
Oh, yes, 2010.
Right. So we had 6 class. It was like the color paint theory, right?
I thought that we met in 2011. Because I did my apprenticeship my last senior year. Fucking hell. 2011.
We probably officially met in 2011 because...
yeah, but I saw you around.
Well, I think
I went to
Michelle
your
Noise
show.
introduced me into... Yeah, that was in 2020. That was in 2009.
Okay, yeah.
So... Housing market just crashed. Bitches were hurting. People were selling that. They were defaulting on their loans and all kinds of shit.
You were laughing.
It was bad. I wasn't laughing. I was laughing at the absurdity of it all because I was like, shit, I can't get a job. I was working at Home Depot part-time.
I worked at Bath & Body Works.
Ugh, it was the worst. I was there with college graduates and they were like, yeah, I just graduated with a degree in history.
Yeah.
What's the SKU number for all these fucking tie rods
lumber,
and shit?
Am I right?
Oh man, it was It was bad. So, and I didn't last long at Home Depot. I wanted a better job.
Tracks.
I was working at my uncle's ice cream shop. He had like a Carvel's down the road.
Oh, a Carvel's.
Yeah.
That was the name of the shop?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't want to say it.
That's good.
Because I don't want people to know where I'm at. Anyway, I can't talk about that anyway.
No, don't. Do
but I was making ice cream cakes, right?
Yeah.
So at the time I was dating this girl from Canada.
Oh, okay. Still.
That's when that whole thing was going on.
Yeah.
I remember I was going to move up to Canada to live with her, and I was I was all in, and
you're heartsick.
I guess
A puppy.
Heartsick.
Puppy. Longing for her enough to move to Canada.
I had heartworms.
He had heartworms, everybody.
In the form of a Canadian girlfriend.
To call someone a heartworm is funny.
I didn't know I was sick.
That. Yeah, of course not. You can't tell.
But it was eating away at me.
It's eating you alive.
No, like she was like a high school sweetheart. Like she was the girl. Like you think like it. You're a special case because you married your high school sweetheart. I thought I was going to marry my high school sweetheart, but we just had too many. It was like two different worlds.
Yeah.
Too many differences and too much trauma to like.
In a country.
And I think I had more trauma than she did, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, your life is normal to you.
I moved up to Ottawa for like 3-4 months almost.
I didn't know that.
It was like through the summer, and I even had like a Canadian Social Security number and all that shit. Yeah, I was like transitioning to
being Canadian.
Like get my version of a green card to live in Canada and everything.
Maybe. You know,
I had trouble finding a job. I was depressed. I really wanted to do something that was more like what I was going to school for, you know. But there was also this push from my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time. She wanted me to just find anything that would like keep me there and then like give me some sort of stability. Like it was all about
Financial
like you need to find a job with like benefits and all these things, and then maybe we can, you know, get you in the country and it'd be nice and we'll have like this wonderful house and, you know, living situation, you know, white picket fence. And
what did you want?
I wanted to party and do tattoos and drink and I don't know. I just
have fun.
I wanted to have fun, man. And I worked so hard in school, and I also didn't, but I did work hard in school. I
wasn't there. I don't know.
It was such a confusing time because what the market was saying is that your degree that you worked for almost 5 years for is bullshit, and it's not going to matter. Once you get into the workforce and graduate college, you're fucked. There's no jobs out there, so you better get to fucking laboring. You know what I mean? You better like start hauling some lumber, smoke ciggies, and forget about all this benefit shit because you're not getting none of that because even the people that had it don't have it anymore.
Yeah. So you started smoking cigarettes.
You're not gonna fucking have a house, bro. Your shit is fucked, son.
I never thought I was gonna have a house. Just to be clear, I assumed I was gonna be broke forever.
Well, a lot of millennials were told this for a long time. Like all of us millennials kind of like went through this period of time where it was like we would go in for like, hey, can we get a loan for a house? And they'd be like, no. There's no loans for you.
There's no loans.
There's not even loans for these old motherfuckers.
There's no loans left.
And then try being a tattoo artist, and they're like, you're self-employed. Like, don't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like, keep renting forever.
That's why we kept everything above board.
They wanted like 5 years worth of like work history for self-employed people because the banks were being so careful because they had fucked over everybody so hard with variable loans and shit. So that's beside the point. The point was I was just in this weird time where I couldn't I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that it felt super inaccessible to be like an artist, especially in a country that I've never lived in before and don't really have any connections. Like like civil rights that pertain to me as a non-citizen. Like probably some, I'm sure that Canada has got some civil rights for people that are non-Canadian, but I just felt like fish out of water. And I had this person who I loved very much, but that was also telling me, like, don't worry about that shit.
Like, just get in, get a job for
I told her, like, I think I would love to, like, explore the idea of becoming a tattoo artist. It's what I really, really wanted to do. It felt like such a pipe dream. I really wanted, like, I was fucking dreaming about it. I've been offered 2 apprenticeships throughout my college career, and I turned them down both. The second one in particular, because they wanted me to quit school so I can be at the shop full time. Yeah. And I told my mom that, and she was like, hell to the nah. She was like, you're going to go to school and you're going to finish that degree. I'm going to whoop your ass. Good. And I so and I was like, okay, like, good. But Mom, what if I don't get the opportunity again? And she was just like, don't worry about that. Like, you go to school first. I was very jaded with school though too, because, like, again, us millennials, we've been told, like, I don't care how much it costs. You got to go to school, because if you go to school, you're going to have a better job once you get out. Yeah. That was fucking bullshit. Yeah. It was it was just like this whole entire system was based on making the system money. Like the government would give the states money so people can go to college. Like I think UMass, where we went, in fact, every year the tuition would go up and they would cut more programs. So every year we were paying more for less every fucking year. Yeah. Not that I took advantage of any, like, I think I went to New York City on a fucking campus bus like once.
I was at the gym a lot. I used the gym in the pool. I was really drunk at the pool.
I think I was just mad, like, well, even if I wanted to have the option to do that, I can't do that anymore, and I'm still paying for more of it, so.
Well, yeah, because, like, also, I mean, I don't know if tuition goes towards the grounds, but, like, if you're not living on campus, then you're getting less of the experience.
Well, think about this. I look at the art program. Our visual design program was really, really good comparatively to, like, exclusive art colleges.
They had teachers that were also teaching at Mass Art and at RISD that were teaching at UMass.
Same curriculum, half the price.
Same teachers, half the price.
The problem is when I had my art show in college.
Oh, you had such a nice art show.
Right, but when I left, you guys got fucked because they cut the budget, and they also said we're not doing this anymore because it's too. I don't know. I feel like they took the risky part and they were like, it's too risky to, like.
Something was happening with, like, I don't know if it was your class or a different class, but there was some sort of issue with fundraising and funds and stuff like that. So
I know what happened.
Okay, let me finish.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go and then you can go. We're going to put the puzzle pieces together. So they did not communicate that with us until later on, because James and JF were, like, fighting for us to be able to, like, just, like, go to, like, a local art gallery, like anything to just, like, lock in a more professional experience for the people that have been, like, working the last couple years, on their portfolios. We ended up not being able to do that and just, like, having it basically in our fucking classroom, which is a bummer. We didn't even get to go and use the gallery in the CVPA in the lobby down in the bottom.
Yeah, because there was
because that was also an option, but we didn't know that until too late. So we had been fundraising money. We fundraised a bunch of money, doing big sales and all this other stuff. And then they told us, like, oh no, you can't do that. I was somehow in charge of the money. So what we did was we bought everybody supplies for their final projects, like cotton rag watercolor, like framing, matting. And then the rest of it, we bought so much booze and we went camping at a campsite for a weekend. And we just, like, fucking raged.
Oh my God. I'm so glad that we have a manager that manages our money here and not you.
All right. I was 21. I was 21, I think. Yeah, I was 21. So,
well, maybe that's why they canceled a lot of shit, because shit was being mismanaged.
No. It was after the fact. And you
guys had extra money that you spent on booze?
Well, because we fundraised.
On a camping trip?
We fundraised for us to be able to rent out an art gallery. And then they said, they said no. Do that.
So you had all this extra money.
So we had extra money. So, like,
you're like, treat yourself?
Which it wasn't even a lot of extra money, maybe $200 or something. But back then it felt like a lot.
Yeah. Like, that's like $400 now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like enough for, like, some booze and, like, a campsite or whatever. Yeah. And it was fun. It was like a community kind of thing. We were close with everybody in our class, so we did that instead and didn't tell anybody. Also, we didn't know how fundraising worked. We probably should have been taking out like signing something, but we just did whatever.
Yeah.
And then hoped for the best. So now you tell me why we had to do that and couldn't.
I think this was for not your class, but the class
before.
right before me.
Is it the graphic designers though? Because I remember hearing
the graphic.
about
The
this.
graphic designers. They were also fundraising for their senior show.
Yeah. And
What they did is
poster.
right. They had these two posters. One was of a male, like a nude male in a very artistic pose, but it's like obviously sexual. Like a lot of like.
Does it have caution tape on it?
Class. I can't remember. I know that they made a joke about it being sexy though.
Yeah.
So there was a male version and there was also a female version. And it was championing these like
hotties.
nude models as like hottie poses, and it was something like bar night or whatever.
They did it at what was the number place? Bar
908. That place was a fucking meat
So I think
locker.
that's where it was.
Okay. So what happened is the feminist rights group on campus saw these posters and particularly pointed out the female version, which was like a nude. It was like a charcoal drawing of like a fucking
the way I remember
a nude woman.
It was a zoom in of a chest with caution tape over the nipples.
That's what it was. Yeah, but it was like a charcoal drawing.
Okay,
I think,
thought
or
it was
like
a
a painting.
photo.
I don't think it was a photo.
I can't remember.
You might be right. I think that's how I remember it in my brain, and I was like, this is art, because I remember.
But also, like, if you are an artist and you've done figure drawing, you're kind of like, nudity is lost. It's like, vavoom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like for us, we were like,
but for people that aren't artists, they're like, oh my God, this is rape culture.
Oh my God.
That's how they put it.
Yeah.
The feminists on camp, which I understand. This was also the time of like, what was it? 2010 was like the beginning and like the ramping up of Me Too culture.
Yeah.
So
right
Me
after,
Too.
I think.
So they went fucking hard. They protested the shit out of the art campus doing this. They thought it was like such a slight against like women and like to have somebody. I think it was taking art and taking the nude figure of a woman and putting caution tape across her and being like, check us out at the bar. Like those two things, like drinking and then nude women. And it was like somehow fostering this culture of rape that nobody wanted to talk about, but was obviously very at the forefront of social media at the time. So what happened is the campus went along with it, and they were like, you guys aren't allowed to fundraise at bars anymore or do like a bar night, or you guys have to do bake sales and shit. Yeah. And what happened was the graphic designers were like, well, fuck, we're poor now. Like, we can't do anything. How are we going to raise money without booze, you know? So I remember thinking at the time, like, that's bullshit. I see it from both sides now. Like, obviously, the graphic designers and the other illustrators probably could have done other things to raise money. But I also understand their mode of thinking is like, well, that's like the easiest way to get money. You know?
It's just like I'm assuming they were just like doing like a door rate or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that vaguely. I did not know that there anything like was protesting or anything like that.
I think there was like, this was definitely at the time where like,
things are changing.
Well, liberal language was getting policed really heavily, and I mean, we can talk about that for a long time. I mean, tons of podcasts that do it. I'm really not interested in that. Obviously,
not interesting enough for you.
No, it's not that it's not interesting. It's just, it's like I have my own thoughts around it, and I don't know whether it's right or wrong. I know that I'm on the side of women, obviously, and I think we should listen to them, yada yada. But also I don't like the stringent policing of language, especially with, I don't know.
Within art, it gets dicey because, like, especially like
that's what it is.
Like,
it's like
we are doing a lot of nude drawings and like nude art is a thing. So of course you kind of work hard to show a nude form without sexualizing it. It doesn't sound like the graphic design guys did a good job of that at all.
No, probably not.
Probably
But also, like, what if they had taken like just some like, what if it was like an AI photo of a woman and she was drunk and like half naked and they were like, check us out at the bar?
Not good. Don't do that.
It's like the context of it. Like, how do you pick it apart? And probably they should have just picked a different.
Should have just done a bake sale with the tits. Because then there's no issue of liquor or any of that.
Check out this cake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. We're funny. Can I ask you a question?
What?
So when I started at UMass, it was 2008, and for orientation, you had like a mandatory orientation where they talked about date rape and all of that. Did they have that for you?
No.
Okay. So I think that is interesting because I do think that there were strides in the right direction to help remedy that, and it was good.
Absolutely.
They talked about.
I mean, during my time at UMass, they actually installed like the rape alarm things that you like if you were in trouble.
The blue box.
Yeah,
that's good.
All around campus.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I just think there were a lot of overcorrections during that time. I think that the like certain funding or certain ways to fund. Let me back up. I don't think that the seniors should have been funding their own show. It should have been a guaranteed thing that the college should have been funding itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I also think that like if there's a gallery available as a college, the artist should have been able, like the Star Store.
Yeah.
Like I think that they should have been able to facilitate something for us instead of having this like really lame, like move the desks in the middle of the room.
I remember that. Isn't that where you guys had it?
Yeah.
You guys,
and it was so sad. It was a bummer. And we worked so hard.
Let everybody know to understand when you're a senior and you're in visual design, in a visual design school, college, whatever, they like to do like a senior show, which is like it.
You have a thesis, right?
Yeah, you have something that you're trying to either prove or make a statement on with your artwork, and then you get to have a show where you show everybody, friends, family, get invited to this thing. It's almost like an art gala where you get to go and show your work,
and it feels more professional. You do it in downtown New Bedford usually because that's where the Star Store was. That was like a satellite program.
Yeah. And it was really fun. You get to dress up and you get to feel like you're a fucking art buff with a piece in an art gallery, right?
Feels very cool.
It was really like...
You guys did it at the bank.
Yeah, we did it at the bank in downtown. Yeah. Right. So, because it was like a really big, nice bank. We had like, they were serving wine and they had like charcuterie and everything. And
it was nice.
Like my whole family showed up and they got to see my work, which was really nice. What they did to Michelle, so they cut funding and all that shit. And what they did to Michelle's class 2 years after I graduated was that they were like, we'll just do it in the classroom. And they had to push their desks together. Mm-hmm. And then everybody walked through there like it was like show and tell at fucking grade school.
And it was really tight in there too.
Super lame.
It was lame.
Yeah, you guys got fucked.
Yeah. So, can I ask, what was your thesis for your senior thesis?
I don't even remember if I had one. I was just like, I want to do skateboards.
Was it all skateboards?
I did. Yeah. No, it wasn't. So I actually I did two things. I did a multi-part thing, and a lot of it was like pop culture and my style.
Like lowbrow art kind of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was really heavily influenced by like Ralph Steadman, but also like Keith Buckley from Every Time I Die, and what's the other guy's name? Yeah, Keith Buckley's the singer. No, not Keith Buckley. His brother.
Baroness?
His brother was an artist. Okay. He did a lot of like really interesting, like a lot of pen and ink work, and like it was all textured.
You were big on pen and ink.
Yeah, I mean it shows in my work now. I'm very line work based. So Ralph Steadman, he illustrated Hunter S. Thompson's books, a lot of like Gonzo, like splatter art, a lot of pen and ink. And then what the fuck is his name? He did a couple of covers for The Used.
Oh, I don't know his name.
I can't remember his name either. I can get that to you later, but
thank you.
It was like his work showed up in Juxtapose magazine a lot. Like that kind of style of art, I really wanted to like explore. It looked like pop art, but it was also like just disgusting and guttural.
Yes, yeah. You did a good job with that, though.
So I did that kind of stuff, but on like skateboards, and I did. I actually ended up illustrating Fight Club for like a whole section. Like I did
remember that piece.
6
next
to
to
8
it.
pieces. Yeah, it was disgusting.
It was
I did
gross.
like
I hated
Robert
it.
Paulson,
Yeah.
like his brains
That's
blown
the one
out.
that I remember
And they're
the
like
most.
holding his brains in his head.
Yeah,
it was
I
pretty.
hated it.
It was so cool.
It was cool. It was well done, but I was just like, oh, this is gross.
But I
Who is
shaded
making
it.
this?
I shaded it by writing his name, Robert Paulson, over and over
Yeah,
and over
his name
again.
is
And,
Robert
like,
Paulson. His name is
like
Robert
it did like a transition.
It was cool.
It was gross. I wonder where that
It was
piece
gross.
is. It's gotta be around here somewhere.
Think it's
I wonder
at
if
your
it's probably at my
house.
house somewhere,
Yeah,
buried.
because we did like a big cleanup before we moved.
But dude, I really didn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I wanted to do.
I had trouble
I
coming
love
up with
starting
pieces.
shit. I never finished one single thing. I started
okay.
off as like, I'm gonna illustrate
Yeah.
the Narragansett whaling history.
Oh.
Or not Narragansett.
That doesn't
Nantucket.
sound like you.
The Nantucket whaling. I was really interested in it. Like I thought it was really, really neat.
That's cool.
But I wanted to do it in like this really like in that style, like
Yeah.
splattery,
Yeah.
really guttural, like
Yeah. Dirty.
because I thought the whaling industry was really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it's
It is.
championed to be like this super cool like part of like New England history.
Yeah.
And it was really awful. Like they were just like slaughtering whales and like it was all these like captain looking white dudes on ships and they
Yeah.
were just like going away for months at sea, leaving their families to just like figure it out.
Yeah.
And hopefully they come back
Spearing
with
whales.
yeah. But if you got a whale and then you were able to actually like sell like the
fat
fat and
in the meat and the bones.
was like they would kill sperm whales, spermaceti for the spermaceti, whatever, like this
Yeah.
stuff in their brains or whatever. It was called spermaceti too because it looked like cum,
Yep.
which is really gross.
Thank you.
But they would use it for all kinds of shit, like candles, perfumes,
Yeah.
any kind of oil-based thing in America. They were using this stuff for. Yeah. What's so funny?
No, I just didn't expect you to know so much about the whaling industry. That's all.
Well, I used to go to the New Bedford Whaling Museum just to go
Yeah.
sketch shit, you know?
That's nice.
And like I had this whole thing and then I got bored. And I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
makes sense
I'm
for
done
you.
with this.
I'm
Let's
done.
do skateboards.
Next.
And then I was just like, let's draw like I don't know, I did like I have the bunnies on the
Yes.
skateboard over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are cool.
And I just wanted to draw weird shit.
Yeah.
It was very tattoo oriented. I didn't realize that, but I was like
yeah, the roses in the Fight Club piece are tattoo
yeah.
oriented for sure.
So obviously all of that DNA was in there. It was obviously like I obviously really liked being in the tattoo shop and getting tattooed, and it was like this world that I really wanted to be a part of but didn't know how to. We're going full circle now. So
We are. I guess.
I was about to move to Canada.
Right.
I was 2 weeks out. I had packed all my shit.
Took us a minute.
I had boxes. I was living at my grandmother's house in her
Is this a
basement.
deep dive episode on your
I
background?
know, dude. I had I was ready to go, and she was like,
Yeah.
I could tell like things weren't just feeling right. I could tell that she was nervous about me moving up.
Yeah.
She didn't like that I didn't have a job lined up before I came, and she was like, "What are you gonna do when you're here?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out because that's how I am. I'm just like we're
That
gonna."
sounds like someone's talking to her and she's getting. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah, like the parents
Absolutely.
or something.
Yeah.
100%.
So, she ended up breaking up with me like literally 14 days before I was supposed to leave.
Okay.
You know, broke my heart. Sucked.
That sucks.
Yeah. I remember too, cause I had actually tried to get an apprenticeship. I was offered the apprenticeship to go to Dragon Lily Tattoo in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
I had to pay for it. They were charging me like 14. No, it was like,
12. No?
how much did you pay for? It was like $3,000.
I paid nothing.
You did?
I paid nothing.
That's bullshit.
I know.
I had to pay $3,000 for
Are
that
you
shit.
sure it was 3? Because you just said it was 2.
No, I don't think it was 2. No, it was 3.
I thought it was like 1,200.
I think I ponied up some of my own money and I borrowed like $2,000 from my uncle, and I had to pay him back like over a period of a year.
3 is very high.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah. On top of school loans.
Oh, dude, I deferred them shits for
Well,
10
yeah.
years, bro.
3 is very high.
I was working at my uncle's ice cream shop.
Yes.
Remember?
I remember.
I quit.
I wasn't there with you.
Before
but
I was
you told
supposed to
me
move
that.
to Canada, I had quit. I was like, hey, listen, guys, I'm fucking out of this bitch. I'm going to become Canadian. And they were like, all right, cool. Have fun. See you later.
And then you came back.
And then
like,
she
hey.
fucking dumped me. And I was like, so that didn't work out. can I have my job back? And they were like, no, we already hired somebody.
Really?
So my uncle was
shit.
like, you can come in on Sundays if you want.
They were
and
like,
make cakes.
nepotism has a limit.
I was like, fuck. So that's how I kept gas in my car. I went back to the tattoo shop and I was like, can I still get that apprenticeship? And they were like, yep, $3,000.
Fucking hell.
So I had no money. I had literally enough money from the ice cream shop. Like some of the savings that I had to go to Canada went to like, it was like $1,000. And then I borrowed two more grand from my uncle.
Yeah.
I gave it all to the tattoo shop. And then I just kept gassing my car by making ice cream cakes on Sundays. And then, like, I didn't have a job. I have nothing. I was smoking cigarettes then, too. I was, like, broke as fuck.
That's expensive. Hell bit.
Yeah.
I remember putting $5 in my truck when we were in, like, college times or, like, when I was commuting.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'll put $5 and I'll drive somewhere and then, like, I'll wait a couple days and then I'll have another $5 and I'll put $5 more into the truck. And it worked.
I remember that vividly too.
And
I remember
that was back when I think the gallons were around $4.
It was $4 a gallon back then.
So I was just like, we're just gonna go gallon by gallon, and try and not go on the highway.
Did what I could, man.
Yeah.
So I was at that tattoo shop every fucking day because I was like, I do not want to work at ice cream shop. I don't want a fucking cubicle job.
I do not want to work at ice cream shop.
I was determined to make sure that this was going to work out.
Well, you had nothing else either, right?
No, dude, I had nothing to lose. I was like, I'm
all in.
I put everything on black. I was like,
yes, last
tattoos. We are tattooing.
I guess we're a tattoo artist now.
So I fucking made it work. You
did.
Like sheer force of will.
Yes.
I didn't have any options though. I must have handed out like 200 different resumes to like a bunch of places. Nobody was hiring.
Yeah.
Tattoos? Shit is recession proof. I'm telling you. Full circle, bitch. We like people will like be like, I have a family to feed, but I need this tattoo. You know why? Because tattoos are therapy and people need therapy. Especially back then when like people didn't have any money.
Didn't want to go to therapy also.
Bro, yeah. And
they're like, I don't want to go to therapist.
They're like, I need this shit. Yeah. I was like, are you sure? And they're like, I cannot live unless I get this tattoo right now.
Also, it was still slow during that time because I remember
slow as fuck.
Yeah, so like recession proof to a certain degree, but still pretty slow.
I was paying my bills. I was a year in. I had already got an apartment after a year.
How much was your apartment rent?
$500 a month.
I was living in like
like a downtown fucking shit city.
Oh, no, I won't say where it is.
It was.
Unless you want to.
And it was a pretty decent apartment.
Oh, nice apartment.
You know, it was a 2-bedroom apartment.
It's big. Yeah. It was a good apartment.
I just made it work, man.
You gotta make it work.
Looking back now, I can't believe we did that shit.
I know. It's wild. I had no money in my savings.
Oh, man.
I had like next to none. Just living paycheck to paycheck, but I was fine with it. And I was like, oh, also groceries, like weekly groceries were like $60 back then. That's how I remember it.
Well, yeah, like everything was a lot cheaper back then.
Like it was it was more affordable to live. Yeah. And I think my rent was $900 when me and Aunt first moved out.
Yeah.
In Middleborough. I'm fine saying Middleborough. I don't live there anymore. Good times.
Bro.
Fun times.
And then I was like
regrets.
Every single tattoo that came in, I was just like honored. You know what I mean?
You're like, you chose me? Are you sure?
I would do anything too. Like whatever came in, words, infinity signs. I did 1 million infinity signs. You know,
I have
what I mean?
one of my favorite clients from doing an infinity sign on her when I was a young artist.
I did so many bad tattoos.
Same.
Tattoos.
Yeah.
Like it was just.
It's part of learning.
Oh man.
So to anyone who has one of those out there from me, I'm sorry. Come on back. Come on back. Let me show you.
I was tattooing with like a Swiss rotary. I remember those got big too for a little bit. Our mentors they were all about neo-tats. They loved the neo-tats, the big
what was
the big
the
boxy
stealth
ones.
Beforehand? That was the first one.
It was from Friction Tattoo Supply.
Even before that, stealth. Like bare bones.
That was a Swiss rotary. No, it was a knockoff Swiss rotary.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a real Swiss rotary.
I just remember it was like the most basic. It
I still
looked like
have it.
A black rectangle. I might have mine.
Yeah,
in my drawer.
I have mine.
And then the Diablos were the Swiss rotary from Friction.
Yeah.
Red and black.
I think it was noisy as
It
all
had a
hell.
terrible needle stabilizer. It would always pop up.
It was like a 2.7.
It was kind of like a ripoff
stroke.
of the Dragonfly rotary model, which eventually I did get myself.
Yeah.
Which has a better motor and better across the board.
Yeah, because it had like a give mechanism on the back.
I still love that machine. I got it redone 3 years ago. Like
Really?
I sent it in and they put a new motor in it.
Those are actually good machines.
They're great machines.
Juncha still uses one.
They're great machines.
Yeah.
Like I would stand by that. I still like I have
'Cause
some
it's light.
tattoos I've done with that machine that still look great. Ooh.
It acts like a coil. I think that's why Juncha still likes it, because he's still kind of old school in that way, but it's lighter on your
Line's great.
hands. Yeah.
Whoops. Line's great. Great machine. Big fan. It's just the cartridges are convenient.
Yeah.
You know, especially like you and I were working on large scale pieces now. So like for me to be able to use 3 different liners and then have a shader on I was going to say layaway, but that doesn't apply.
Yeah.
You can just switch everything out and it's convenient. I don't
Yeah.
have to have 5 different machines.
I always think about like how hard it was to get into this business, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but like, do you think it should be that hard still? Where you like,
We
if you
have
really
different
want to, if you
experiences.
want to make this work, like
I
it's
fell
got,
into this.
you have to
I
like,
stumbled into it and I don't feel guilty about it because I think it was a really good fit.
well, I made it easier for you. I made sure that we picked you, and I also made
Thank
sure
you.
that you didn't really have to pay much for it.
I paid nothing,
Yeah,
to be clear.
I know.
Thank you for that. I don't know if did you have to do with that? He seemed like he just wanted people there so that he could move to Florida.
He wanted somebody new there, but he also knew that not everybody could pay. And I was like, well, I can vouch for her. She went to the art program.
Yeah. What's interesting is you had to pay to be an apprentice, and then I'm assuming he did not pay you to train me when
No.
he was gone.
No, he didn't.
So that's just an interesting little tidbit
Yeah.
that I'm noticing now.
You know,
We kind of learned together.
I know we've had our issues with him, my mentor. Not really your mentor, but boss.
Boss
Right?
man. Yeah.
He
Could
did
have
teach
been
me a
worse.
few things that were pretty on point.
I think overall, like I don't regret starting there because it was a custom tattoo shop, which aligned with. I think that's why I pulled the trigger and I said yes because I went back and forth and I talked to Michelle Noisette about it because I was like, oh, like I have an art degree. I don't want to be tattooing like Trinity signs and like script and all of this stuff. And she was kind of like, well, it's a custom shop. Like you could do so much with it. And she really liked you because the zucchini line. So like Fred used to
She's the best.
do t-shirts because you can't sit still.
Yeah.
So she always liked that you were like a go-getter and very like you would always move forward. Really good at monetizing things. Creative, all that stuff. So I sat down with her and talked about it and she told me to go for it. And then I talked to Anthony, he told me to go for it. So I did it. But I was very much on the fence
Yeah.
because I was just like, I don't know if there's like a biological aspect to it too. I was like, am I going to be fine with like interacting with people like half clothed or like when you're young too, you're just like, I don't know, it seems weird. And then you do it and you're like, oh no, everyone's just a person. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but I remember like I think I've brought this up on the podcast before, but like one of the people that I was surrounded by in college was like, oh, like you're going to have to tattoo like fat people. That's disgusting. And I was like, oh my God. And very quickly cut them out. Don't talk to them at all anymore. Not
Dude,
nice. Not a nice person.
I would rather tattoo chubby people all day over muscular people. No offense to the muscular people, but
it's just like the way that people view.
there's more
this job
space,
is so
and that shit just
strange.
goes right in, man. Like, I tattoo, like,
Buttery.
I don't want to tattoo your fucking chiseled ass. That's hard to fucking stretch your
Chiseled
shit
ass.
out, man. And then you're fucking moving it. I know exactly who's gonna be like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah,
I just saw you and calling me out. But yeah, I kind of fell into this. And I'm glad that like I was saying, I'm glad it was a custom shop because like he did make a big emphasis of like, you know, like having creative ideas for sleeves and like the artists that he was really into were artists that I feel like I looked at their work and like learned from because he was big on Guy Aitchison.
Guy Aitchison was
Aitchison.
arguably one of the grandfathers of like fine art
Biomat.
permeating into, well, yeah, he's a huge biomat guy,
Yeah.
right? So, and a lot of those techniques were like unheard of in the like your standard tattoo world.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it was still traditional art.
Yeah, and it was stuff I could align with too, because like I remember a book of his, like he was like creating his own 3D sculptures and then lighting them and then taking pictures, and that's what he was drawing and sketching and stenciling from. So there was
make
like
his own references.
Yeah, so there was a big fine art aspect to it. So I'm glad, all in all, I'm glad that I started at that shop.
That was like the golden age, man, of like how
shit was
art in tattooing was becoming you would have these guys that were just like, whoa, you can do that with tattoos.
Yeah.
It was fucking unheard of, and it was just so cool to be in the industry during that time, because there was no Instagram. Like you can find some cool stuff online, but it was like unheard of. You would have to look through magazines to find like what was really good.
That's true.
Is like everybody in your town also sucked.
Yeah, and conventions
we didn't realize that we were like
Polaroids of work.
Oh my god, yeah! Everybody like you would have to go
get them
to like Walmart or like CVS and get your pictures developed, and then like get it like a photo album, and then paste all your tattoo photos in there.
Yeah.
And I remember my boss having like he had like disposable cameras, and then he got like a digital camera, and then they were printing them out. Oh my god, it was a time.
It was cool.
It was really cool to see good work, like, because good work was so rare.
Yeah.
I remember somebody came in and they had gotten tattooed by what the fuck is his name? God damn, I can't ever remember his name.
Oh, Nick?
No. Shit.
No?
No. Local guys.
Oh, the guy that did your head?
No, that's Dave Bennett. Dave Bennett's the man, though. He's in Newport, Rhode Island. Black and gray artist. Fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Such a good, nice guy, and just really, really great work. Neil England. He used to work at FU Tattoo in was it Westport or Dartmouth?
Oh, okay.
Right around the corner from UMass.
Okay.
And the dude is like, he's just one of those guys that can do anything. And back then, like, it was like, holy shit. Like, this is it was like a treat to see some of his work in person, you know?
That's cool. Especially when, like, I feel like what's interesting now is I think that there's a lot of people that post tattoo work and the pictures look better than the tattoos do in person. But back then, the tattoos probably looked much better than the pictures that they were taking.
Well, it was because it was so rare, so even the pictures looked good. You know what I mean? So nowadays, everybody throws a filter on that shit. And then, like, I'm like, let's see that shit in person.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see.
There's so many artists out there that are throwing, like, they're turning off all the lights. I turn the lights off sometimes,
You
too.
do. You've been on
Not every photo, not every fucking thing. I do 2 sets. I do one with the lights on and one with the lights off, because I want to get the lighting correct. But I don't like overexposing shit, because I still think it makes tattoos look bad.
Or the hyper contrast.
Honestly, I prefer them with the lights on. Yeah, the hyper contrast, because you can do that. You barely have to do that now. Like, if you get
the cameras a lot of it's like they used to be on the phones.
Well, with the polarized filter, I'm trying to eliminate the glare
on the skin.
Yeah, right. So
and the irritation. I had a client, I think it was last week. I love the tattoo, but like he gets so swollen. It was just like shine all the way through. And I was like, I'm just gonna get a picture when it heals.
Yeah.
So don't get sad if you don't post your pictures. Sometimes you're just very swollen and the light is glaring off your skin like a sunbeam.
There's a lot of reasons why I don't post every single tattoo, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I have to like really love it. Like really, really love it. And I love every piece, but there are some pieces that I'm like, this is me.
Well,
this is really who, like, this is the kind of stuff that I really uphold as like, this is my voice. And a lot of times, okay, if you want me to post your tattoo, let me do my thing.
That's true too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm hyped about a tattoo,
we'll post it.
I'm going to post that shit.
Yeah.
But if I'm kind of like, yeah, this is cool.
Well, I think there are tattoos,
it's your idea.
Yeah, that are for us. There's tattoos for your client, and then once in a while, you know, you align with someone so perfectly and just have like a great time, and you see eye to eye about art, and that's the best.
Yeah, sometimes I won't like the tattoo, but I'll like you a lot. I'll post it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, don't say that.
Why? I'm just being honest, man.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
I'm here for
it. I think my buddy and client Nick Champagne kept getting pissed because he was like, "Oh, when are you gonna post my tattoo?" And I honestly just kept forgetting.
Yeah.
And I think I posted it in his stories. He was like, "What the hell, man?"
Oh, okay.
And I just felt bad and like worse.
Was that the one that you freehanded?
Part of it freehanded. So I try I make a point. Like I'm tagging you in it. See, bitch, it's there.
Yeah.
You're in my posts.
Yeah.
So he's all pumped now.
He's there.
He's like, "Oh, I made the cut."
There you go.
I get it. Clients like that shit too. You should always take photos no matter what. If you don't like the tattoo, you should always take photos of it because it makes the clients feel weird. At least I'm guessing if you don't take photos. Yeah. They want to feel like you fucking like that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am not in the business of doing bad tattoos. I will always do my best to do a good tattoo. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily, or let me rephrase it. Sometimes it's not a great representation of the work that I like to do, and I'm obviously going to keep posting the stuff that I feel like is
aligning with your style.
Yeah, exactly. That way I can keep doing more of that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not to say I hate the thing. So
we've had a very good episode on your background today. It's a little bit of Fred lore.
Yeah. It's a lot of Fred lore. I don't know if I like putting all that shit out.
Yeah, I'm curious what's going to make the cut and what's not going to.
I think most of it will.
Yeah.
We're just about an hour in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I got to tell you something, dude.
Go on.
There was a thunderstorm the other day. Did I tell you this story?
You did, but tell me again.
Bro, I sleep with the fucking window open.
Naked.
My bed is naked. I'm naked all the time in my bed.
I figured.
I sleep, like the way my bed is, it's next to the window. I have 2 big double windows. And I like sleeping with the window open if I can. If it's not too cold. I like smelling the outdoors as it comes in through my window. Allergens. It just makes it cools my head down. You know what I mean? So, and it keeps my pillow cold too. Like that's a really good trick to keep your pillow cold.
Wow, what a trick!
Yep.
Cold air.
Okay. It was raining. There was a thunderstorm the other night.
Yes.
Dude, I didn't know. I was sleeping. It was like 4:30 a.m. I went to bed early at like 1:32, which is early for me. I never heard a fucking thunderclap so loud. And you know, like when you hear a thunderclap, it's like a few
It's like a treat.
No, well,
for me,
it's like a few cracks. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's like
it's like rolling.
That's my sound effects. Like 5-year-old. You ever hear like a 5-year-old do like sound effects? It's the funniest shit ever.
Get distracted. Oh, it sounds very wet. Okay.
Like that. Like war. It's always war.
Jesus Christ.
It's always guns and war. Anyway. Speaking of, when this thunder happened, when this shit went off, and my head is right next to the window, and the window's like halfway open. Mm-hmm. This shit cracked. One single crack. Bow! Just fucking kapow, bitch. It was so fucking loud. I thought a bomb had gone off.
Truly.
I woke up. I was like not even like I was up. I couldn't think. There was no thoughts in my brain except bomb.
Jesus Christ.
I thought it was World War III. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's it.
Were you scrolling before bed?
I was like, Russia's here, bro. Somebody hit us. No, I don't know. I can't remember. I don't remember shit. I just remember it didn't sound like thunder. It sounded like one giant bomb went off. It was so fucking loud. The neighbors' car alarms were going off. Dang. My alarm was going off. Shit was happening, bro. I jumped out of bed. Like I was already out of bed. I ran into the living room and I'm looking outside because I'm looking for fireballs. I shit you not, dude. It was that I'm not exaggerating. It was it was deafening. It must have hit the house because like I could have sworn my ears were ringing. I'm like looking. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Just thunder. Just thunder.
Are you sure it wasn't a meteorite?
Dude.
What if it was?
It was the loudest shit I ever heard. I was like, "This is it. Get ready, son." Like,
Did you figure out where it hit?
I have no idea. I have no fucking clue. I just know that, like, there's. I don't know if you've ever been in like a situation that requires you to like fight or flight and act really quickly.
Yeah.
I was ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wasn't just sitting still. I was like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Where's my bug out bag?
Yeah.
Time to
you
go.
Have one.
Yeah.
I assume.
I was like, shit, how am I gonna get across the bridge if I need to get the fuck out of here, you know?
Yeah. You should probably get a boat.
Bro.
Just kind of as a
It scared the bejesus out of me so badly I couldn't fall asleep again. Every time I would like try to nod off.
What day was this?
Oh, it was Tuesday.
Explains it.
Dude. What do you mean?
You just seem tired. I'm tired on Tuesday.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, again, I have some shit in my personal life too.
I'm just joking.
Everything feels really existential right now too. Like if it feels like I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like,
yeah.
Like we're doing this podcast. We're talking about like being alive next week and like or next month or like what like how business is going to be in a year. And I'm like, is there even going to be like, is this building even going to be here anymore? I think that's kind of like where my head is at sometimes. Cause like, obviously we don't want bad shit to happen. And you know,
that sounds hard. Everybody's
kind of on edge with the economy and, the current administration. And, it feels really bad. And I think that's obviously where my head is at is like, I'm fucking ready. I'm waiting. I don't want this shit to happen, but.
Well, I didn't realize either that there's a meteorite that is heading towards Earth.
So like 2032 or
2040 or something like that, which the girls were nice enough to remind me of during the meeting.
There's like a 3 out of 80 or no, what is it? Like a 3 out of 82% chance?
You would know.
No, not percent chance, or I don't know.
Ratios.
They said it was like...
There's a chance.
There's a big chance.
How big is it?
It's big.
3 out of 80?
I don't know. Let's look it up right now.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna fucking tell you.
Look it up on your laptop. I'll look it up on my phone.
Oh man, my fucking the little camera's not working again.
Meteor hitting Earth. So I'm getting 2032. Chance of an asteroid hitting Earth is very low. Currently estimated at 0.004%, but we don't know if they're telling the truth there.
Well, the way near misses or...
While there was a 1.7 chance it could hit the moon on December 22nd, 2032, lucky day, it's also considered low-ish.
So from what I understand, there's like a parallax that they have to measure when they're distancing... when they're measuring distances of potential objects hitting the Earth, right? So the percentage
impact hazard scale, perhaps.
Yeah, that percentage actually goes up. It increases as it gets closer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right,
they have,
until it drops to zero because they're right. I don't know enough of the math to fucking understand it. I just know that the more information that they have, obviously the better it is. So they're making a guess. Oh, it could hit.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure out the weather 15 years from now or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically. Or 10 years. Wait, what year is it? 2025. 2032. Okay. Yeah, less than...
Doesn't 2025 sound insane?
Yeah. It really does. I feel old.
I was feeling like, this is cyberpunk, dystopian fucking society right now. I was in Walmart.
Maybe everyone...
Last night, there were no cashiers open. There was only like cash yourself out.
A little robot cleaning guy was there.
It was too? Where's my cybernetic implants?
You want?
If I don't get to talk to anybody, I gotta feed this machine fucking coins and and it's like fucking here you go, here's your change. You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, we did that today at
Lowe's. It felt oddly depressing and amazing at the same time.
Yeah, sometimes when you take a step back and you think about everything that we have going on, I don't know. It feels like we're at the turn of the century, and I feel like every generation that's experienced that has probably felt this way.
That's why I feel like a piece of shit when I'm like, you want a tattoo? You got to fucking work hard and suck dick.
Whoa.
Like, nobody wants to, like, no. Like, shit is it's so awful right now for some people that, like, it shouldn't have to be this hard, but it is, you know? And, like, I feel bad for the newer generations because they're also being told, like, you just got to work hard and suck capitalism's dick, and then maybe you'll be something.
Yeah.
And I just want to be like, you shouldn't have to have it as hard as me, but also, I don't know, there's that duality of, like, having pride in your work and knowing that you kicked ass to get where you're at, and also you want to expect somebody else to take that, like, that honorable mission to, like, to also be great. You want greatness, you got to fucking work for it, and, like, we wear that shit like a badge of honor. Like, to get into tattooing, it's easier than ever right now. There's so many, like, avenues for education.
And there's a lot of it. I was going to say a lot of information.
Oh my God. There. But again,
really easy to get
like
the
I
information.
said in a previous episode, I would not want to be, 23 again, trying to figure out how to tattoo, because this shit's harder than ever.
I think whatever anyone's doing right now, getting into anything right now is difficult.
Yeah, you gotta shine brighter than and there's so many people out there that you gotta shine brighter than. You have
a lot of noise.
Carve out your little niche.
I think, like, hands-on jobs. If I was going to do something now, starting a career now, I would do something. I mean, yes, to tattoo, but also, like, anything that's, like, hands-on that can't be replaced by AI or a computer within the next 10 years.
Oh, let's play a game right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you are a newbie. You're in your first year of tattooing.
Okay.
How do you min-max your game so you can be so you can stand out among a crowd of other first-year tattoo artists? How do you beat them? Your goal is to get booked up for a month. How are you going to do that?
I mean...
is it a style thing?
I feel like I've been working on this stuff with Maddie, so I feel like I can answer some of these with what we've been working on, but I don't know if you want a different answer than that.
Yeah, just answer however you think you should answer it.
Tell me the question one more time, slow.
Okay. You're a first-year tattoo artist.
All right.
How do you stand out amongst a crowd of first-year tattoo artists that are fighting over the same clients, the same client pool? How do you min-max yourself to get the biggest slice of the pie?
Yeah. Trying to think. I think, like, streamlining a style so that when someone's getting, like, when you're designing Flash, streamlining your style so that when other people are seeing it, they know that it's yours. So it's almost like a signature. So keeping your style fairly, like, across the board, like, eye-catching and similar. Like, when you first started, also had that where, like, you could tell when it was a Fred tattoo. You know what I mean? Like, you're stylizing, you're creating your own style. For me, I love loud business cards or banners, so I'm thinking holographic. Mm-hmm. For me, usually I go with Go Foil and, like, get, like, I splurge on the nicer cards. I would go to community boards like Reddit with, like, specific Flash that I wanted to do. You can also cater Flash towards different kinds of people, like, like anime, or, like, you're almost, like, looking for these fan groups, right? Like, people who are really passionate about things. So, like, whether it's comic books or anime, like, you're almost curating Flash to those different communities so that you're spreading your web wide and far. So you're getting, like, different types of people from different communities to, like, really latch onto you. And then you can do, like, either buy one get one deal, or, like, a couples deal with, like, if you and a friend book on the same day, then, like, you get, like, a flat rate for both of you, because I do think that is worth doing. I also tell Maddie every time someone's they're leaving with aftercare and a business card. And what I like to do still with clients is, even if I'm not sure if they need a touch-up, I still book them for a touch-up, because that means that they're coming back. And if you don't need to do that touch-up, you make them feel really good. You take a photo of their tattoos, and if they need the touch-up, you do the touch-up. And then, like, you should always have, like, available Flash on your wall to kind of, like, lure people in, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
What else? Me as a woman, if I was going to do it again at 23, you know I'm dressing nice.
Are you gonna play into the like I'm a sexy
We're
I'm
just
a sexy
dressing
tattoo
nice.
artist?
We're dressing nice. It doesn't have to be cleavage. It doesn't have to, but like when you see someone who looks clean and put together, you feel, I think, more confident in the work that they could possibly do. So we're keeping it clean and like put together, I guess.
Yeah,
I
think there should be
but like
okay, I think there should be a definition or differentiation between like, hey, I'm gonna like hoe it up.
No, yeah, we're not hoeing it up. So, do you remember when Fred and I were doing conventions?
Yeah.
You were doing a vest for a while, and I was dressing just nice, right? Yep. We were dressing almost like a little more formal than you would as a tattoo artist.
I fucking cringe thinking about that now.
I know. But we did it for conventions for a while, but we had good, like, people are coming up to the booth, like, we had a good record with being fresh tattoo artists, dressing better than your work was.
Yeah. You were wearing like high heels and dresses.
Yeah.
And I was wearing like a fucking vest and tie.
And like that, but like it was a good, like it was a sharp look though, like to see like, you know, like you with the tattoos and then like you're dressed kind of nice, you know, so like dress for the fucking job you want or whatever. But like we did that for a while, and in hindsight, like I don't think I did it thinking about it. I was just like, oh, I want to look good because we're doing a convention. I'm going to meet a bunch of people and people are going to take photos. So you want to look good.
Well, I think something should be said about like when you go to a tattoo show or a convention or expo.
Yeah.
The shops that are like everything's really nice and streamlined and everybody's really dressed well. It says that, hey, we're a shop that's probably a little bit more expensive. You're going to get good work out of it, and we're going to take our time to make sure that
keep it professional.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not telling you to hoe it up. I don't hoe it up. Have you ever seen me hoe it up?
No.
No, honestly though.
No, I haven't. I promise.
I try not to. Well, there was one. I have a dress that I'll wear. I have like a bra that has snakes on it, so I have a low cut dress that sometimes you can see the snakes poking out.
No, we had
but that. I kind of try and keep it.
We had somebody looking for an apprenticeship with us, and they were like, "Here's my painting," and they were like, "Check it out." I'm like, "Yeah, here's my booty and shit." It was obviously like the painting was this big, and they were this big in the photo. Like, check out my painting. I'm sexy, you know. And it was just like. I don't know. That doesn't feel super authentic to me.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to do anything you're uncomfortable with. But I think
you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Look clean.
Some people do.
Look clean.
Can you? I don't want to like hoe shame. You know what I mean? If you want to look hot and sexy in your photos, and that's what you want to market on.
It's difficult for me as a feminist to walk this line of like, do what you want and look how you want. But personally, like, I would keep it clean. But I don't want to attract people who are going to date me or like think I'm too sexy. That's also why I like the apron. Yeah. I'm like, all right, whatever I have underneath, and then like I have the apron on top, and that kind of.
I think there's a lot of artists that will be like, well, I'm not doing that. I want to be judged based on my artwork alone, not on like how fuckable you think I am.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't have a ton of selfies or like there's not a full length shot of my body on my Instagram for that reason. But I do think just like dressing clean and like streamlined and professional when you're off the get, if other people aren't doing it, it's going to get you somewhere.
I think the general rule should be like dress like you smell nice.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. So those are my tips, I guess.
Iron your fucking clothes, bitch.
Dude, I haven't ironed my clothes in years. Do you know why? Polyester. That's why. Because there's so much polyester in our clothes, which has like a wrinkle-free effect. That's real.
You do know the inks that you use have acrylic polymers in them, right?
What does that have to do with my clothes?
That you're literally injecting plastic into people.
Well, I'm just saying polyester in the clothes now, it keeps them from getting wrinkles. That's why I haven't had to iron anything in a long time.
Oh, I thought you meant like you're heating up the polyester. Polyester is, okay, think about this. For every person that has a fucking dryer in their kitchen, every time you open that dryer, plastic particles of polyester are just getting over everything. You're breathing it in.
People are eating off of
getting in your
plastic plates.
fucking food.
Care.
I'm just saying, like,
we're already dead.
Oh, dude, It's pointless. It's a pointless exercise.
You suckle from a plastic water bottle daily.
Suckle, gross.
I know. Good, right? Yeah, there's no escaping microplastics. Also, the cartridges have plastic in them, and that needle's rubbing up against the plastic.
Y'all are fucked.
We're all fucked.
I don't know what's worse. Like the boomers, like grew up during a time where like they were
asbestos.
They were asbestos, but largely lead
War.
exposure. No, so
True.
like gasoline was leaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was so much lead. And I think that's the working theory on why boomers are so fucking crazy nowadays.
And leaded paint too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad has COPD from doing like odd jobs with asbestos and other shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was working on the boatyard.
Goddamn.
Hingham Boatyard. Quincy Boatyard? I don't know.
Man. We got to wrap this shit up.
We didn't talk about what you wanted to initially talk about today.
We can save that for another time.
Fantastic.
I didn't feel like being too angry today.
That sounds good.
It was making me mad.
Yeah.
Next week, we delve into the idea of realism tattoos. Should we be doing realism tattoos? Are realism tattoos actually art? Are traditional tattoos actually art? Can we repeat realism tattoos, and is it considered commercial art, or does it lose part of its soul?
Is art art?
AI art. Is it art? We don't fucking know. It's not. So I would love to like talk about. And,
we're gonna get mad next time.
Yeah, we're gonna get so angry.
I'm probably gonna get you mad.
Get ready, bitch, because fucking.
We're gonna yell at each other.
I have theories.
You always have theories.
I got shit to talk about.
You always have shit to talk about.
I'm mad.
And I'll be here to listen and report back. And maybe you'll ask me some questions.
People are going to get mad about that episode. Yeah. All right. So, listen, we are...
The Inkaholics podcast.
This is the Inkaholics podcast, bitch.
And we're glad to be back.
We are a tattoo shop full of awesome people. This is 1001 Troubles Tattoo, Inkaholics podcast. Warren, Rhode Island. We're in New England. We're the best tattoo shop in New England and the world. We're here.
Space.
We're fucking awesome. And we got so many artists that can knock out your tattoo in an awesome way. It's top notch. It
feels like a bit now.
It's not a bit. It's fucking real.
Okay.
If you want a cool tattoo,
your voice is getting higher.
I'm defending myself right now. If you want a cool tattoo, check us out. 1001troubles.com. We are a safe place to rest your weary head.
Aww,
get some tattoo therapy. Nice. You can tell me about all the shit that happened to you as a child.
Yeah, like, I guess you can.
All the bad stuff. I will listen.
And the good stuff.
And I won't judge. And I'll tell you, you're a good person. And here's a cool tattoo. And then you can wear that trauma on your arm like a badge of honor. I fucking love you guys. Thank you for supporting us over the years. Per usual, I hope you join us in 2 weeks. This podcast is it's bi-weekly. We did a tri-weekly podcast oopsie last week. I should have put something out, but I didn't. Look, man,
rude.
I'm gonna do this shit as much as I possibly can. We are not canceling the podcast. It's just gonna be intermittent. You know what I mean? Like,
we're just trying hard.
Every 2 weeks there's gonna be kind of something sort of coming out. You know,
you gotta drop sleeves. Yep. Sometimes that takes time.
Listen, I fucking love you guys. I love you, Michelle.
This is a long sign off. Love you too.
You're my favorite person ever.
Stop it.
Give me some. What's up? Yeah, that's what's up.
That was not a lot of effort on you.
All right, bitch. See you next week. I ain't looking crazy.